Greasy Gamers. Are you doing the fucking... Oh my god, that's so long. So long since I fucking heard that thing.
I don't know why I thought it was
Fucking
like,
Crazy Frog?
it just propped up.
Welcome to Greasy Gamers. We're a podcast.
Yeah, welcome gamers.
We're back.
We're back again. It's been a fucking... It's been a long time.
I don't know, like 2 years or fucking, I don't know. It's been a while.
2 years? Hasn't it? It might have been 2 years.
Maybe, a year. I know at least a year.
At least, yeah. We'll see when this comes up, or it's up.
Yeah. I mean, we basically just, we talk about this shit anyways. Might as well just post it on YouTube, whatever.
Yeah, and a few people said that, where's your podcast?
Like
why do you stop that?
Like 2 people, and we're like...
Actually, it was on like 5 people I saw.
Oh shit, that's actually, okay, that's cool.
That's good enough, I feel.
Well, you asked for it, so here we go.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh
yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Good shit. We have some stuff to talk about, so.
Yeah, we got some greasy memes and some cool talks about whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, more cool talks actually, not so much greasy this time.
Yeah, not the most greasy thing going on this time.
Yeah.
More grease next time.
Next time it will be greasy. I will promise.
Yeah,
there will be some grease sprinkled in there.
Disgusting. I'll bring some fucking stupid meme like we used to do. Like, oh, what sound is this? Some fucking garbage that wasn't funny at all. That nobody thought was funny. Did we ever even use that segment? I don't even think we did.
We didn't. We cut that.
There was like this segment that I tried to bring in one of the episodes before. I was like, oh, what's the sound?
Yeah, we have to guess sounds, but it didn't work.
Fucking didn't work at all. It was stupid.
We were laughing and having a good time, and then I listened to it, and it's like, this is not funny at all.
So stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, so expect some of that maybe next time.
Yeah.
It's good. Baki, it's so fucking good, dude. It's so good. Like, I'm not even kidding. I will just start laughing so hard just sitting here watching it. Like, it is so fucking funny. I think it's funnier than a lot. It's definitely funnier. It's definitely.
Yeah, I remember there's some fucking ridiculous things happening in that.
Yeah. They dropped the CG. It's all, there's no more CG.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, I was hoping for that. I was really hoping for that.
I have been looking for it and I haven't seen a single one. I guess they got the budget to drop it or something because it's all just been fucking traditional and it's so much better.
Oh man, that's great. I've actually seen a couple of people talking about it on like Twitter and shit.
Oh really?
Yeah, people are like, "Oh shit, there's new Baki coming out," and they're like,
"Oh,
it seems
awesome."
like people. Yeah, it seems like people are more into Baki now. Like that's
really good.
Yeah, I like that because I think it's perfect to make a video about it. I talked about making a video about Baki.
I mean, Netflix is advertising it pretty well. Like it's as soon as it aired, like on the front page is like Baki. And I'm like, whoa, fuck, that's so cool. Like. Season 3, and I didn't think they would do that. So it's nice. Yeah.
God, that would be great. Like people, God, it would be fun if people like check it out more.
Just tried it, yeah, absolutely. Like people did that with One Punch Man. They're like, "What is this?" And I would love that with Baki too. But I wanted to say one thing. I've been wanting to say this. This is not a joke. I'm 100% telling you the truth when I say this. I'm dead serious.
Okay.
Like. Okay, you know how Mr. Oliver talks?
Yeah.
Which is like
like
he does okay, well, his fucking number one line that he does it. He goes Naruhodo. Naruhodo. He goes Naruhodo.
Yeah.
There was a point. Like, every time you hear Mr. Oliver talk, it's like fucking perfect. It's just like, it's music to your ears. I felt like my ears were getting violated by him at one point. He was so close to the mic, and he was it actually made me uncomfortable how his voice felt hearing it at one point in the show. You will listen, and he's like, Naruhodo, like it was, I felt Like, I was, like, actually fucking, like, tingles went, I was like, what the fuck? Like, they did it on purpose. Like, it is so uncomfortable. It's so awesome. Oh my god. They go so far. I laughed at people just making faces is so funny in this season. Like, you know how like Baki has really great like facial expressions? They're just funny.
Yeah.
They go far with this one, with this season. They go way fucking forward with it.
God, that's good. Yeah, that's Baki is so good with that. Like, especially like later after that last arc.
Yes.
Like, I've sent you pictures of like.
Yes, yeah.
Jujiro doing fucking.
Yeah, like that. There is stuff like that in this season where it's just. It's inhuman. It's inhuman how they look.
Yes. I'm looking forward to seeing that because once you said it, I was like, oh, that's true. Yeah, it gets really fucking.
It does it, and it goes so far with like the bodies are just like you see Mr. Oliver in like a ball. He's like in a ball.
Oh, he does the ball thing, man.
Yeah, he does Oh wait, no. He spins in the air in a ball and he lands and he's like a fucking clump. I think he was in the teaser shot actually. I think it might have been. It is fucking hilarious. It is so good. I didn't think I'd be laughing this much watching it. It's fucking great.
That's what a lot of people don't. We talked about it before, like how Baki is like a lot of people don't seem to like
get it. It's a comedy.
Yeah, they don't see it as like this fucking ridiculous funny show. Like
no, they would like see the muscles and think it's kind of trying to pull a Dragon Ball Z thing where it's just like over the top, but
yeah.
It's beyond over the top in Baki. It is like they're disproportionate. They're inhuman. They're inhuman. The bodies.
Yeah, yeah, they really are. That's what's so funny.
I think you've seen, so you know. Like at one point, Yujino's like he shows his back, and the crowd is like Akumo, like the face of a demon. Like
yeah, his muscles form a fucking face of a demon.
Like he has a different muscle structure than everybody else. It is fucking amazing. Oh,
I fucking love that. There's so much shit in Baki that they. The thing is that they try to make sense of it. That's what also makes it funny.
They double down on that too in the season where they have scientific explanations for literally right now in episode 9. It's funny you say that. I paused just because we had to get this call going. It's paused at like a brainstem talking about the speed of punches. Like,
are they talking about how? Are they talking about like how your reaction time is like 1/2 of a second?
Yes, they're like. Like
such fucking bullshit.
Oh, I love when they do this shit. When they just like they take nonsense and they add this like dark music, this really atmospheric fucking like, and they start like they have an announcer like the average time for a human. Like they start.
Is it the same guy doing the fucking?
Yes, I think it is.
なるほど.
Yes,
that fucking.
そして誰もが それをどこかで諦めてゆく.
It's the same guy. It's the same guy. And it has the same soundtrack, so it's fucking good. Like, yeah, it's really great.
Oh my god, that's so good. Yeah, it's so funny in Baki that it's like it's straight up like pseudoscience garbage.
Yeah,
but
it is.
But they use it as like and any other show would try to use real like actual science, but
yeah.
I feel like the creator is just like, I've read this somewhere. It's probably not true, but who cares? Like
he just liked Muhammad Ali Jr. at one point. He's like, I'm going to put this in because like the way he dodges, that's actually a fighting style. Like,
yeah.
I like also that it's funny to see the extent of how far they could go in Baki it's absolutely limitless because. You'd be like, aren't they going to run out of ways to explain with their bullshit science how this is still possible by humans? And no, there's always an explanation for how someone could lift a skyscraper, and it would talk about how like they broke their nerve endings and they don't feel pain anymore, and they can tap into like hidden strength. There'd be some reason. There's always an explanation in Baki.
I can say there's a thing I'm not gonna spoil that's like way ahead, like it's really like further along in the manga.
Yes.
There is a part where they literally just say, if you imagine that you could do it, you can do it. Like,
yeah.
It's at that point where it's
oh no way, like just the idea of fathoming it. Oh my god.
Yeah. If you can imagine yourself doing this, then you can. Like, but you have to like train your fucking brain to actually be able to do it. Like, to trick your body.
Yeah. I love that shit.
I don't want to say exactly what it is because it's a fucking hilarious thing. Mm-hmm. So
we should definitely do like a follow-up talk when we both are finished it.
Absolutely, yeah.
It does. It one thing that's kind of sucks is, especially with anime, 13 episodes is not a lot when you cut out the intros and outros. And yeah, it's like I'm already on episode 9, so it's flying by, and I'm really afraid.
Yeah, it's gonna end fast. Fuck.
It's gonna be pretty quick. But I mean, fuck. At this rate, it feels like they could keep going with this, dude.
Oh, I hope so. I really hope that Baki continues, that people, because I mean, people are talking about it, so
yeah,
maybe
that'd be really great.
Yeah, it's insane to think about, because Baki was this. I don't know if I talked about this, but I've known about Baki since mid 2000s.
The only thing I knew it existed. I knew it was called Grappler Baki.
Yeah.
Baki the Grappler, and it was
Baki the Grappler. Yeah, that's what they call it.
It was like some Funimation show they translated for a season or two, and I'm not gonna lie, I actually remember seeing the teasers and like, oh, that looks kind of interesting. I want to see that. Yeah. Way back in like 2000 fucking, I don't know, 3 or something.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
Fuck, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's. I remember me and Adam talked about it. Was Adam had brought it up like to this was like fucking 10 years ago, and I was like, oh yeah, by the way, Grappler Baki, do you know about that? Like,
oh dude,
it seems to be pretty cool, and we never really talked about it or like watched it until 2 years ago when we saw it, and we were like, oh, Baki, cool. We watched that, and we were like, "Fuck! Why haven't we fucking watched this before?"
Why? Yeah, absolutely.
It is the fucking. It's one of the most ridiculous. Like, someone said. I remember someone was talking about Baki, and saying that Baki is for people who think JoJo makes too much sense.
Yeah,
I can kind of see it because it's like way more ridiculous than JoJo somehow, even though they use fucking superpowers. And
JoJo has like magic in it. Like it just has stands. Like it's insane. The rules of it are you know, but Baki still just goes further, dude. I don't know.
Yeah.
They somehow managed to just push further.
The art is one of the things that's so fun about Baki.
It's like the star of the show.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and that's the like fucking not Araki. That's not his name. That's fucking JoJo.
Yeah.
The Iragaki. That's his name. He is like, his style is so fucking unique, and it looks. I totally get when people say it's ugly, because it definitely is.
It's hideous.
Yeah,
but
it's hideous, but you can tell that he's a fucking great artist.
Yeah, like, no, it's intentional. It's intentional. It really is art, where it's like, it does it look good? I don't know, but I like looking at it.
Yeah, it's funny because I talked to someone who's an artist. And they said, like, this looks fucking great. Like, when they looked at this as art, like, this looks amazing. Like anatomy wise, he gets it. but he doesn't really try. He doesn't try to make realistic bodies.
No,
but you can tell that he knows. That knows that if he could draw a realistic body, but he doesn't.
Yeah. I think I want to share it with some artists I know as well, just to get their impression and like see what they think, because I mean I want more people to get into Baki too.
Yeah,
It definitely deserves it, but
oh, absolutely. Especially like that's why I want to make this video where I talk about how like like with Baki you can't have this mindset that you're not gonna get like a well written like overarching story. Or
No.
even like well developed characters or anything like that. You won't get that with Baki.
Baki is almost like watching stand-up comedy. Like it's like little segments that are just funny or entertaining. Like if a stand-up comedian goes, you don't think about the entire arc of a comedian's performance. You don't think of how it started in the middle and the end. You just kind of, the next thing happens, and you just kind of enjoy it, and that's how Baki is. I don't think
that's actually a good way of it. Like, you just gotta enjoy the moments, like, when they happen. Like,
you don't really know what's gonna happen, and you don't really think about it. You just kind of, it's just you're reacting to it, and you're either laughing, or you're like, oh, that's fucking cool, or you're grossed out for a sec. It's just a bunch of little moments. That's Baki, and don't think about it too hard. If you just if you just watch it and just turn your brain off, like, fuck, it is so enjoyable.
Yeah. And even when you're like, even if you're like analyzing it and thinking like this is bad, it's still hilarious. Like,
it still is. It's like it's bad, but it's not like it never said it wasn't. Like, okay, there's this moment, and since you've seen it, this isn't too much of a spoiler. I just think it'd be funny. There's this moment where the Sea King, like the highest Chinese in Baki's Part 3, guys, there is this moment where Yujiro Hanma is up against like this 160-year-old Chinese martial artist who is like the greatest ever. Like, they're just, it's pure strength and aggression versus pure skill and like art, right? That is the showdown. And you're expecting something absolutely incredible. You are anticipating. You're sitting there at the edge of your seat. And you're like, oh my god, I can't wait to see how this goes down. So what happens first? The old man stands out of his wheelchair. He throws the wheelchair right at Yujiro Hanma. And he catches it. And he like spins it on his finger like a basketball. And you're like, oh man, what's going to happen next? What's he going to do? He sets the wheelchair down. And he goes, get on, old man. And he goes, arigato. The old man then sits on the wheelchair and he pushes him around the ring mid-match, and they talk about what it cost him to become the greatest martial artist and his strength. They have like a fucking philosophical discussion walking around the perimeter of the ring. The fight hasn't started yet. They're just like, that is Baki. That is Baki, okay?
I forgot that. That's so good.
That to me is like the perfect example of because anyone else would be like, what the fuck? But I'm almost glad the fight didn't happen. I was like, yes. Push him around, and like them talking was more enjoyable. It was so funny.
Oh, that's so good. I forgot. I remember it as soon as you said that the man sat down. I was like, oh yes, that part. It's oh my god. That's one of the, like, when you read or watch something like this, you have to watch it in small doses.
Yes. Yeah.
You cannot like, if there was like, well, now there's like, with this there's like fucking 37 episodes or something.
Right. Yeah,
you should not watch all of them at once.
No.
Don't binge watch Baki. Like, watch a couple of episodes at a time.
Yes, I would like to say that I forced myself to turn it off, but I feel like my brain is just kind of doing it without my control. Like, I watch through and I go, okay, that was good. Let's just stop for now.
Yeah.
Like, Baki is unnatural for what we're used to. So Yeah, you enjoy it more when you take it in small doses. Absolutely.
Yeah, because you cannot get used. Like as soon as you start getting used to all this stupid shit, that's when like the fun of it like disappears. You have to come back to it fresh.
I mean, just like what we were saying about stand-up, you don't want to sit there watching stand-up for 10 hours. You're gonna, at some point, it's just like, okay, you need a break. Like, you want to come back to reality. And then, you got to go back and forth.
Yeah.
So,
definitely.
Watch Baki Gamers. It's on Netflix. And, yeah, maybe start reading it if you like it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's fucking... The thing is that there's, like, right now, there is... I would recommend, like, if you don't know if you're gonna like Baki or get it, watch the first 6 episodes. Like, I know a lot of people say, like, oh, you should watch the first season first, because it gets better after. No, you will know if you like Baki after 6 episodes.
I think so. I think I would agree with that.
Because that's when the first fight has happened, the first real fight, and then if you're still like, I don't know, then it's like, okay, it's not for you. Like,
yeah, I mean... I think I knew within the first 10 minutes. I was like, okay. Like, when they were establishing... Maybe not 10 minutes. The first episode, I think they had established some of the death row inmates.
Yeah.
And I think I knew by the end of episode 1. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
This is for me.
I think just to show how ridiculous they are, the one that I like the most is the fucking... what is it called? The old man, the one with the fucking...
Is it Spec?
No. Oh wait, yeah, he's the old man.
I mean, he is technically the old man.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking about the Japanese guy.
Oh, I don't remember.
The one with the fucking poison.
The poison hand. Okay.
Yeah. And he talked, and he fucking...
The most dangerous gas is oxygen.
Yeah. The fact that he can like create a vacuum in his hand, his palm, like so fucking ridiculous. And he says, "Yeah, in my palm, like in the center of my palm, there is like there's like 5% oxygen.
Yeah,
only 5%. And if you breathe it, you would just like
shuts off your brain.
Pass out. Yeah, you would shut your body down. It's just like it's so stupid."
No, I genuinely don't know who's gonna win ever. I just don't know.
Yeah.
And that's part of the fun as well, is like you think you know, but you really don't.
Yeah, it's so... And the thing is, they go so far that you, like, stuff you wouldn't think about. Like, I would say a really early scene in Baki that just shows how fucking cool and ridiculous it is the part when Doppo loses his hand.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
It's like in the second episode. It's like it's really early, so it's not a like a late spoiler or like a big one. He loses his hand, and in any other anime, that would be like, oh damn, he can never use his left hand again.
That's like a pivotal moment for the character's arc.
Yeah, but instead, Doppo goes, well, thank you for getting rid of my burden, because he hates using like this.
His fingers got in the way,
and he's like, oh, this is great. My fingers were like a burden, and then he uses his stump to punch the fucking guy who cut it off in the face, like just like smashes his face in with.
Oh my god, that like
so.
Fucking so good.
It's so good. It's like you don't expect that. Like you don't expect something like that to happen. In anime or anything. Like that. That's not what a character would do.
That's not what they would do. It's so true. Baki, there's when things try to go more like, I don't know what it is about Baki, but I've seen things go like even more extreme or more wacky or more crazy and stuff, but it feels so like they're trying too hard. But when he fought with his stump, that was like, yeah, that makes sense for Baki. Like he's not trying too hard. It's just I don't even know how to describe the madness of Baki. It is
madness. It's madness. That's a good way to describe it, because it's like it's insane, but they don't. It's like you said, they don't try too hard.
No,
which is strange. Like, it works. The fact that it works, it shouldn't work.
It should not. It should not, but it does because it's like, it's like it owns it. It's like Baki has this confidence about itself that everything it does is like, that's how it's supposed to be, right? And you're like, no, that's not how anime works. You can't do that. Yeah. But Baki does. It's not like this thing where it's like, hey, we're trying to be extreme. It's just, I think Baki literally believes that that's how shit works. Like,
yeah.
Oh man, it's incredible.
Yeah. Oh, it's so. Oh fuck. Yeah, I'm making a video about it.
Just make that fucking video.
I think I'm gonna focus on that first, because now Baki is out, people are kind of talking about it, so it's like,
it's a good time.
I think I'll do it. Talk about why Baki is great, like.
Absolutely.
And the thing is that the manga, like, there's some fucking ridiculous shit coming up that you haven't seen yet.
Yeah, it's still going, right? Like, the manga's still being written.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm excited.
The one thing I can say about Baki is that's kind of disappointing. That happens later. Not a spoiler, but they reuse some ideas and like themes that they've done earlier.
I see.
So the one we were talking about, where the mind can't react. It takes half a second for your mind to react to something happening. Like that thing. They repeat that like twice. Later.
I honestly feel like the way Baki goes, it's like you're gonna run out of ideas because you can only go so far with the body, like the human body.
Yeah.
Like JoJo, like it's honestly kind of, it's very impressive how far they've gone with Baki while still just being like a human body's strength and willpower. Like,
yeah. Because
JoJo, I mean, you just make a stand that has more crazy powers you can't comprehend, right? Like, that's what you do. King of Crimson is just something insane. But Baki, it's all just rooted, it's technically rooted in reality. It is.
Yes, it is.
So how the fuck can they just... Like, I'm sure if a character lost both of their arms in a fight, it would somehow help them. I don't know how it would happen, but there is a way that it would work. Like the velocity of them charging forward would then be like they'd have less wind resistance or something. Like,
yeah. That would be a thing in Baki. Like, they lose
like
their arms.
They can kick faster because they have less weight on them or something. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, they would explain it like that.
They would do something. It's just it's kind of hard for us to talk about some of this stuff because it's spoiler. Like, I feel like that wheelchair part, I didn't want to say it, but I feel like if anybody heard that might convince them to watch it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I think it was worth revealing that little moment. Even though, like...
Yeah, absolutely.
Even though, to me, that... Like, I'm so glad. I did not expect that. You will die. You're gonna fucking die, dude.
Oh, fuck, that's so good. It's funny because that's like... In a normal show, that would not be a spoiler. But in Baki, it is.
It's like I'm revealing a punchline to a joke.
Yeah,
like, it's not. I shouldn't have done that, but yeah, because you're right. You're absolutely right. Anybody else or any other show would have been like, yeah, but the fight hasn't started yet. You're not spoiling anything. It's like, you know who wins or loses. Like, that's not what's important in Baki. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it isn't. Yeah,
like, someone losing is almost irrelevant because it's about how they, like. Sometimes when people lose, they actually win. Like,
yeah.
It doesn't. Because the way they won is like, it's like humiliating to the person who, like, the way they lose is like a humiliating victory for the other person. Yeah. So they actually win in the long run. Like,
are you thinking about the Muhammad Ali Jr. like against?
No, I haven't seen that. Oh wait, no,
that's the first episode. That's the first thing that happens in the new. Like, when Jujiro lays down on the ground.
Oh, yes!
Like,
yes, that's right! Oh my god, dude. the noises that Yujiro makes when he like when he breaks the door down. His faces and the noises, I laughed for like a minute. Like I actually had to pause. I was laughing so hard because of how the noises that it was so good.
Yeah, it's like the thing about it is that it's supposed to be like, oh fucking Jujiro is pissed. This is serious.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's like we talked about fucking stupid anime faces and how we hate reaction faces in like shonen and shit.
Absolutely hate that.
Like Naruto doing like the stupid face. This is this version of that. Yujiro fucking looking pissed.
It's the same. I mean, in a sense, it's just
but it's actually like it's not supposed to be funny, or maybe it is.
I don't. This is the thing. You're right. Like when you watch Baki, you don't actually know if you're supposed to be laughing.
Yeah,
because when you watch Full Metal Alchemist and Don't Call Me Little, and he reacts with the internet emoji face. Like this is supposed to be funny. You never know in Baki when you're laughing. Is this funny? Like you almost feel like if you were in the same room as the writer, and he was watching you laugh, you'd like look over to see if you were supposed to be laughing. Like, and you'd see like a straight look on his face, like, why are you laughing? And you're like, oh. Like I imagine, like. I never know. I mean, I assume, but that's kind of the point I'm getting at, is that it's ridiculous and madness within the world. Even the faces.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, is that people don't know like Araki's intent. No, not Araki. Fuck, I keep saying Itagaki. They don't know Itagaki's intent with Baki and how self-aware he is about Baki, but that's what's so good about it, is that the Baki takes itself seriously.
It does.
It commits to a lot of fucking stupid shit, and you don't know, like it's kind of like charming and like I don't know. It is. There's something like while other shows they would be like, oh, that's stupid. Like if you look at like a serious show and they have
Ken Ganashira is the perfect example.
Oh yeah, I actually haven't finished it. That's the thing. I
mean, there's a good reason. Ken Ganashira is basically it's like a bad Baki clone because because it knows there's moments in that where it's either serious or it's not serious. It doesn't really mix the two. Like when the characters fight, they go hardcore, and when it's like funny, like, well, this character's over the top. Like he's a fat guy, haha. But he's, I don't know. Yeah. Baki doesn't fuck around. It's like, it's so consistent with its tone the entire time, and the tone is whatever you think it is. Like,
yeah. That's true.
It's like the most subjective show I've ever seen. You could take whatever you wanted from it.
Yeah, it's so true. Yeah, the fact that you can think something is cool and laugh at it at the same time.
Literally, I'm like, oh, that's so cool, but I'm laughing.
Yeah, and JoJo does that as well. Like, they're able to do that. Like, you laugh at it, but it's like, oh, this is fucking cool.
Yeah, like fucking when you see Dio doing stuff with JoJo, it's cool, but it's stupid. It's great.
Yeah, exactly. But I think Baki takes it like a step further. Like the ridiculousness is so like.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
Yeah, but yeah, like I was gonna say about fucking Itagaki, like did you know that he's actually like a martial artist? Like,
really?
It's not just like a fan. Like every single, like if you go and check out like in like Dragon Ball or other fucking mangas or whatever, they have like a picture, like every volume has like the picture of the first page. You open it up and like it's a page of the author, and they're doing something like, oh, I'm out like outside of my balcony, or some shit, and it just says some fucking shit about them. He does that, but instead he takes pictures with like martial artists and like fighters from different like disciplines. And,
oh, really?
Like, yeah, it's so cool. Like every time there's like he's with like a pro wrestler one time, and then the next volume he's with like a karateka. Like,
he's just like totally into it. Oh, I mean, there's definitely like you can tell though, because when he's talking about the matches of Muhammad Ali versus like he's actually talking about it. Like,
yeah,
these are things that happened, and he's just kind of going with it and using it as like inspiration and stuff. But you could tell he's a fan. Absolutely.
It's funny because like it's usually Yujiro that talks about like when he respects someone. Yujiro like there's a confrontation, if you can call it that, with Yujiro and Muhammad Ali.
Yes.
And Yujiro is like, oh, I have such respect for you, what you did for what you did for black culture, what you did for like boxing. Like
he's talking.
And it's like,
through
why are
him.
you're a sociopath, and you kill people because it's fun, and you have respect for
I know.
He shouldn't make sense. Yujiro is a fucking...
It's because that's the author. He's talking through Yujiro.
Yeah.
He's like literally talking to Muhammad Ali, like in his own way. That's him like paying his respects. It's fucking great.
Yeah, it's great. And yeah, the thing about how we talked about like that must sound fucking crazy that we said Muhammad Ali shows up.
I mean, we know, but
yeah, but people who don't know. There is so many fucking cameos, and not even cameos. They're not even like they're not just like, oh, look, it kind of looks like Donald Trump. No, it is Donald Trump.
And
like
he's in it. Like
he's a he's a
cameo
character in the
a cameo is like someone in the background, like a background actor or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. Obama is in Baki.
Yeah, exactly.
He's in it. Like,
it's so funny. It's the best thing too, because I haven't reached up to that point, but they really want to sell how fucking terrifying Yujiro is.
Yeah, I love
so
that.
They make every single person in the world afraid of him. Like everyone is like nobody wants to like get on Yujiro's bad side.
I mean, Yujiro's more interesting than the main character. Like he's just I love seeing him. I just want to see more of him. He's great.
Yeah, he's and the thing about it is that he's supposed to be terrifying, and sometimes you can see it and you're like, oh fuck, he's fucked. He's fucked up. Like, but it's also funny because he's it's so ridiculous.
Yeah, he's kind of a goof. He's kind of a goofball.
Yeah, yeah, he is.
Have you seen any wrestlers, like any like actual wrestlers like Hulk Hogan or The Undertaker or something?
In Baki?
Yeah.
Yes, there is
yeah, sure.
Antonio Inoki. I mean, I'll send a picture of him to you, and you will probably like remember someone looking like that in Baki.
Okay.
One of the guys looked like that in there.
Oh, I think. Okay, yeah.
And that's like they have a different name for him. They do that in Baki. They have different like slightly different names for like real people.
Oh man, yes, Muhammad Ali is Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
It's not actually him. It's someone else. I mean, they have to do that.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it's so funny. The fact that he like. Because usually, when you play a game or something, usually it tells any of the characters in this are, like, completely fictional. Like, when you play a game and it's, like, there's a warning telling you, like, any, like, resemblance to real human beings is, like, not, like, it's coincidental. Like,
right.
It's not. But the fact that they do that on purpose just to be like, okay, we don't want to get sued.
Yeah.
But Araki is just like, fuck that.
Yeah, that's right. Like, South Park does the same.
Yeah. The fact that That would make a connection between South Park and Baki. It's just,
Yes, I mean, fuck.
Yeah.
That is so true. I would never have done that for anything else.
Yeah.
Baki goes more extreme about something than South Park does. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, like that's insane. That's good.
Yeah. But yeah, I can. It's there's so many cameos. Like there's so many that some of them I didn't even know. Like for example, you might not know this. Fucking Biscuit Oliva is based off a real guy.
Yes, I did know that.
Yeah. It's oh fuck, what is it? Sergio Oliva.
Yeah,
It's the real guy.
I did know that. I love that so much.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, by the way, yeah, the characters are fucking... Even though the characters don't really go through any development in Baki, they never, like... There's never really a point where they, like... Oh, we go into the mountains and train to get stronger. Like, there's nothing like that in Baki, really.
No.
The characters don't really change.
They just, like, want to fight more or something.
Yeah. The fact that everyone's so obsessed about fighting, even like the fucking the old like jiu-jitsu guy, he's like 75 years old and he still fights. He can't get he has to fight. Like he's.
I mean, the opening. I'm not sure if you saw it, but I think the way that the third season starts off is it goes like, this is when I was already. I think I said to you. I think I DM'd you. That within 2 minutes of the show, I was laughing.
Yeah.
It was like within the first minute, because it basically opens and it goes, every human being, when they're born, dreams of becoming the strongest creature on Earth. And they will always like forget this dream, but a handful of people will chase it. Like everyone, like me, like I dreamed of it at one point, but
he like gave up on the dream.
Yeah, I gave up on it. That to me is so funny. Like every one of us, we all give up. We've all at some point in our lives, apparently according to Baki, guys, you have given up on the dream of being the strongest creature on the planet.
Yeah.
Like, you had the dream, but
yeah, watch Baki. Yeah, it's
watch
fucking
Baki gamers. Oh, by the way, there was something that I wanted you to check out. I have something for you to read.
Okay.
That's right. Okay, I'm gonna send you a text document.
All right.
Now
is this unrelated to anything we talked about?
This is
today?
absolutely unrelated. This is 100% just something that I want you to read. And by the way, don't feel too worried about being perfect. Just if you see a mistake, this was what the author. This is what they wrote. So if you see any English mistakes, just go ahead and read it and don't worry too much about it.
Yeah.
This wasn't written by me. This is a short story that me and Lauren had commissioned.
Okay.
So we'll give you that, and
this is exciting.
Let Dave regale you, Greasy Gamers, with a tale. Okay.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. Regale us with a tale, Dave.
Oh shit. Alright, this sounds good. Alright, this is a Lord of the Rings story, I guess?
Yes, it is. Don't try to fix any errors that you think the writer put down. Just
okay, I might not even notice.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Just read it.
So we'll see.
Yes.
Alright, let me read this. A bead of sweat rolled down Frodo's forehead, carving its way across his fat little face. Frodo fat? Alright. As he gazed up at the towering mountain above him, Frodo was reminded about how he began on an epic journey. Many years ago, Frodo's adoptive father Bilbo gave him an old
An old what? What did you say? I couldn't hear that.
An old video game that he had stolen from someone in a man cave when he was trying to escape the trolls. But something was wrong with the game. It was called Super Mario 64. Each time Bilbo played it, he played it for longer and longer, until he became obsessed with the game. He even cut his 111th birthday party short, so that he could play Super Mario 64. It's the ring, but it's Mario 64. Okay. That's he cut it. That's so funny. Okay. Finally, he grudgingly gave the game to the great wizard Gandalf. The thought of Gandalf brought a lump to Frodo's throat after the memory of him falling to his death after battling the Balrog. Frodo thought back to when Gandalf would bring the newest Xbox for them to play instead of fireworks.
I know how much of like a closet Lord of the Rings fan you are. I knew.
Oh my god, it is so good. Frodo always looked forward to playing the latest Halo game while Gandalf smoked and the Hobbit grass, or as someone else calls it, marijuana.
The Hobbit grass.
Hobbit grass. Suddenly, Frodo was dragged back to reality by Sam's voice in his ear. Mr. Frodo, we have to keep going. I remember that's how it sounds like. But
yeah.
Frodo responded with a tired grunt. It's okay, Sam. Wait. It's okay. It's okay. Wait. Oh, okay. I see. He was not okay. It's okay, Mr. Frodo. I can't carry the game, but I can carry you. Sam said as he tried to pick him up. Oh, fuck off, Sam. I can walk fine. Replied Frodo angrily, pushing Sam away. Slowly, Frodo pulled him to his feet and once again began to climb up the mountain. Oh, good.
This is a great story.
Oh man, I love this so far. Slowly, as Frodo dragged himself upwards, he thought he saw a glimpse of a hooded figure standing on the rocky ledge above. Sam, did you see? Sam! Shrieked Frodo as a boot slammed into Sam's face, casing one of his teeth and teeth to fly out of his mouth as he toppled backwards. The hooded figure slid to a stop, his boots flicking some black dust, and formed a small cloud around his blood-specked boots. Fuck, that's detail. That was hard for me to read.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, guys, this is how it's written.
Oh my god, okay. Frodo looked at the figure in anger. He was looking down at the ground, the hoodie obscuring his face. Suddenly, the figure looked upwards, his glasses flashing with the red light from the lava. Give me the game, and no one else gets hurt. I would rather die, screamed Frodo as he unsheathed his sword. Jag sedan fred med dina gudar. As Frodo charged the hooded figure, calmly drew out his sword and met Frodo in battle.
You made a mistake there. It was
really?
As Frodo charged the hoodied.
Oh, the hoodied figure calmly drew out his sword and met Frodo in battle. Alright. Frodo was not a trained swordsman. His attacks were clumsy and easily deflected. I know who you are, Dave! It's me? Okay.
No, it's a guy named Dave.
Okay, it's a guy named Dave. Okay,
Yeah.
it's not me. Okay. Bilbo used to tell stories about you when I was small. How we tricked you into showing him your favorite game, and then only to steal it from you to play it himself, said Frodo, as their blades clashed once more. Unnoticed by Dave, however, Sam was climbing back up towards him. "All you have to do is give me the game, and no one gets hurt," said Dave calmly. Frodo was breathing heavily, sweat coating his face. He could not do this much longer. "I'm going to destroy this awful game, and then I'm going to come back and kill you. The longer you resist, the longer I will make you your death." Okay. "Sam, now!"
It's a mess.
Yeah. As Frodo finished his sentence, Sam grabbed Dave around the ankle, pulling him over. Dave toppled backwards, tumbling down the mountainside. Finally, he regained his balance and looked up to see Frodo and Sam hurrying up towards the entrance to the mountain. Steadily, Dave got to his feet. He was covered in dust. His glasses had a single crack running through the left lens. But he would not be deterred. He too began to climb up the mountains and to the mountain's entrance. Frodo and Sam entered the mountain, ignorant of who followed them. They believed that Dave had been knocked unconscious by the fall. Frodo and Sam gazed up at the cavern around them and the bubbling magma below. Plumes of smoke and ash swirled around them. Tongues of fire licked at caverns walls, turning them a midnight black.
Very descriptive.
Yeah, I love that. Frodo stood at the end of the ridge, looking out into the oblivion below, his face wrapped in the burning red light and the churning mass of fire below. "Frodo, cast it into the fire! Destroy it! What are you waiting for?" screamed Sam through the fiery winds. I was just thinking how on Middle Earth did Gandalf think we would get this far? We had to rely on some random creature who tried to kill us multiple times for directions. Gandalf did not even give us a map. He just pointed at Mount Doom and said, "Go." Okay. Why did we came all this way to destroy a video game? Could we not have used a hammer? Wondered Frodo. Fucking AVGN. But Frodo had been wondering about the absurdity of the situation. Dave had sneaked into the chamber and was hiding behind Sam, obscured by the smoke billowing up from below. Suddenly, Frodo spotted him. "Sam, look out!" screamed Frodo, but it was too late. Dave jumped out of the smog, wrapped his sword around Sam's neck so the blade just touched his neck. "Give me the game or the hobbit gets it." "Kill him! It's only a gardener. I can replace him," replied Frodo as he loosened his finger on the Super Mario 64 cartridge. Dave launched himself forward, sliding across the ground, reaching out to where the game was falling. Dave was just able to catch the cartridge in time before it fell into the mouth of hell. Frodo tried to stab Dave while he was still on the floor, but he was able to quickly roll aside and jump to his feet. Frodo charged at him once more. His clumsy short sword cut through the air, aimed at Dave's neck.
It gets really bad. Like,
yeah, it is. I'm curious what. I'll finish. Let's see. But Dave's katana sliced through the air easily, deflecting Frodo's knife. Dave had more skill and more height than Frodo ever could have dreamed of. Height, yeah. This was not the match he could win, but he still tried. Their blade met again and again, causing sparks to fly out of their hellish surroundings. Dave danced as he fought, attacking and parrying with an elf-like elegance. Damn. Frodo, on the other hand, was cumbersome and brutal, but they battled on. Dave did not want to kill Frodo, though he had many options when he could.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah. Alright. Finally, Frodo swang to the right, aiming at Dave's ear, but Dave ducked away, returning with a strike to Frodo's chest, which caused Frodo to jump back, losing his balance. His next attack came high, swerving through the air, but Dave cut upward, slicing off one of Frodo's fingers, and finally ending the fight. His sword and finger plummeted to the magma below as Frodo screamed in purest agony. Dave calmly left the cavern, striding past Sam, who was still covering on the floor, too afraid to fight. Dave left content and happy. He was looking forward to play some Super Mario 64.
Yeah! Yeah!
Fuck, what a good story.
Yeah, that was a Fiverr story.
I was gonna say, is this some fucking Fiverr?
It was! Look, here's the link. This was from writer Tom, whose Fiverr article, I will write you a custom Lord of the Rings fanfiction. So, we were very specific about the criteria we gave him. And we basically said, our friend Dave really likes Super Mario 64. Like, an uncomfortable amount. He loves it. He wears hoodies, he is Swedish and has glasses. And we said, is there any way you could make video games real in this universe? And and he messaged us back and he was like, this is one of the more interesting ones I've received. So let me get this straight. You want only video games and hoodies to exist in the Lord of the Rings universe? And we're like, yes. And we said, at that point, go nuts. Do whatever you want to do.
Oh my god.
So, yeah. I mean, for $5, pretty good.
Yeah. As soon as I saw video game, I was like, oh, this is gonna be interesting.
Honestly, it's kind of bizarre. It just starts like, it just becomes like he slipped in things that were weird. Like he was mad about the journey, like Frodo and like Gandalf pointing them towards Mount Doom. And
was that like completely like you didn't tell us?
Literally all of this, aside from the criteria of your name being Dave, you like Super Mario 64 a lot. You're Swedish, have glasses, and wear a hoodie. That's it.
What about the katana?
Oh yeah, no, okay, yeah, I forgot.
Oh yeah, okay, that was the thing. If that wasn't something he just put in, then I would be so impressed.
I wish. No, we told him not to.
That's so good.
Yes. So. Thanks for reading us that story. It was great.
It's easier to talk about like good stuff in a game you dislike because it's like, oh, this stuck out to me to like as being interesting. Like, oh, that wasn't too bad.
That's true.
But in a game you like, if you find something or hear something talk about a game you like, and they're like, this part is bad, you don't want to accept it first. You don't want to like immediately accept it.
Yeah,
like a thing. You're like, maybe not. Like you want to hear more about it. Like, okay, I need a better explanation.
That's true. Like Final Fantasy VII Remake, you'd think of some bad things and you'd kind of be like,
Yeah, exactly. Like that's how I feel about. Like, I don't want to. And it sucks with especially when you want to talk about a game you like and you want to bring out, oh, they could have made this better. And it just sounds like you're nitpicking, even though you like the game.
Yeah, it
like,
does. It does feel like that. Like, yeah, absolutely.
But I gotta say about maybe we can talk a little bit about Final Fantasy VII before we like end the recording.
Absolutely.
How do you feel about Final Fantasy VII after finishing it? Remake.
I love it. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I think I enjoyed it more than most people did, and I think part of it was because I never beat Final Fantasy VII. I think that I escaped Midgar, and you know I'm not sure how much I did of outside. I did a bit, but that was about it. I never like got really that much further. So, I guess I didn't have a ton of I never was like Final Fantasy VII, like this is my game. I was never that crazy into Final Fantasy ever. I think Final Fantasy VII Remake is the only Final Fantasy I've ever beaten in my life.
Oh shit, yeah.
So coming from that perspective, keep that in mind. But when I say like I loved it, I actually had a great time. I think that they did really good.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's a good game. The combat is solid.
Yeah.
The fact that the combat is like, Final Fantasy 13 had a good idea, but execution was fucking garbage.
Yeah.
With the combat, how about we take that and actually make it good?
Yeah.
And just use like a newer engine, like they used. I think it's the same engine as Final Fantasy 15. I'm not sure.
Yes, I believe it is.
It does look like it, so I just assume it is. Mm-hmm. But it's just like the combat is like, fuck, this is what Final Fantasy should have done after 10. Like, this is what this...
It took them a while. It took them a while to figure it out, but they got it.
Yeah. The thing is that it's still an RPG. Like, even though it's action, it's heavily focuses on the RPG, because it's... you can't really, like... It gets to a point where you have to take damage. Like, there aren't points you can't avoid damage in Final Fantasy VII Remake.
No,
and that's the point. You have healing and shit. So that's what they wanted you to do. You take a lot of damage, or you take like a blow and then you change characters so that they can heal.
Yeah,
or like something like that. Like it's obvious that they don't want it to be like a pure action game. And
no, definitely. That's how I felt about it too. I also think that like. My problem is that I actually agree with a lot of the criticisms people have, but the extent at which they use it to, like, encapsulate the entire experience of the game, I just don't agree with. Because they'll talk about pacing in some areas and like, quests as, like, there's some issues, and I would agree. But then they go, like, this is why the game is not worth playing. And I go, okay, you're going a little far there. Like...
Yeah, absolutely.
There's issues...
That's way too far.
Yeah, like, sure, there's issues with, like, the side quests being kind of whatever, but... Does that make it that the pacing is now shit? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I can say this. I understand if someone's, like, playing, like, the fucking... when they have to turn on the lights under Sector 5 play. I understand if someone played that and was like, I'm bored, I don't want to play anymore right now. Like,
yes.
I understand. Because those parts are straight up padding. Like, there's no reason they should be that long.
Yeah. But then it's like...
there is a reason. The reason is because it makes the game longer. Because that is a thing they do with AAA games. Because AAA games, like, if you have a short AAA game, you're fucked. It needs to be...
absolutely.
It needs to be, like, at least 30 hours to be people to consider.
You are 100% correct. If Final Fantasy VII Remake... Like, if this part came out and it was, like, 20 hours, people would have been fucking so pissed.
Yeah,
they would have been pissed. I mean, I get that they would say like, well, their main reason is they want to pad it out because money, all that. We all knew that already.
Yeah.
But I guess here's my thing. People will look at like the mission with Jesse. What mission was that? 3 or 4?
Yeah, it's pretty early.
I think it's mission or like chapter 4. But there's it's the mission with Jesse, which that wasn't like a thing.
Yeah, that wasn't a thing in the original.
No, and who's that fucking guy on the bike? That character.
I don't remember
anyway,
much of it.
They came up with that chapter was its own like it was its own story basically. It was fucking great. That what sold me on the game when I played that chapter. I'm like, holy fuck, this is great. That was padding. That was just something they fucking did. Like they threw that in there.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing. I would consider that like. Because it is padding technically, but it's actually like a good extension of like the story.
It's good writing.
Good.
It's good writing. It has actual character development in it, and you know what I mean. Like if you're gonna call out the bad shit, you have to also call out the good padding too. Like you can't just say like it only has bad padding and then just kind of brush off when they have like a really cool villain character. They have a really cool segment, and that entire chapter was fucking good, and people just kind of ignore it and they go, this game's padded out. And I go, that's not fair. That's not fair.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, I can recognize the bad shit. Like I can totally see it, but they just go too far.
Yeah, I think so too. I I wish they did more with that side villain, the motorcycle guy.
Yeah, he better come back because fuck.
Yeah. Because he's funny. Like that's a fun character.
He was one of my favorite characters in the thing, and they just kind of yeah, I liked him a lot.
Yeah. And like that's good shit. And I've noticed in Final Fantasy VII is that Nomura and I don't remember the name of the writer, but they have a thing where when they extend the story of like characters that already exist, it's great. If it's something that existed previously in Final Fantasy VII, like Jessie, they added backstory to her. You get to see like her mom, and her dad was in an accident. Like, oh, it makes sense why she works for Avalanche. Like, she wants like she wants to. Shinra fucking ruined her family. Like,
yeah, literally.
So that was really good. Like, I love that. But then when it comes to like actual like new stuff, the fucking ghost things.
Yeah.
Adds nothing. It's it's actually nothing. And the only thing about like that was just like whatever, like this was unnecessary. They could have just skipped because the only thing that's gonna lead up to is that it's gonna lead up to Aeris's death later, and it's like, no, you can't save her because the ghost will be. This is what's supposed to happen. That's all it's gonna lead up.
Yeah,
to.
They're plot ghosts.
Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of stupid, but it's like whatever. Like I can deal with
I don't really give a shit.
What makes me what actually bothered me was how much Sephiroth showed up. How much they fucking put him.
Yeah, that was,
and not just once or twice. Like
I know
it's like 10 times he shows up. And I was like, do you? I don't know if you know. Do you know how many times he shows up in the original in Midgar?
None.
Yeah, none.
None.
Not a single time, and that was so cool.
Yeah,
that was so cool in the original. They talked about Sephiroth. He kills the president. You just find his sword, and it's like, oh, Sephiroth is shit. It's like, who's Sephiroth? Like, and then after you're done with Midgar, you get the flashback, and you get to see Sephiroth.
Yeah, it's a total Darth Vader situation where the importance of the character, like, it takes over the fucking source material, basically. Like, like they basically just start throwing in Darth Vader and everything, and if you know what I mean, if they were to remake A New Hope, you'd see fucking Darth Vader 100 times more.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the character becomes way too big of a deal.
That's one of the things where the best way they actually could have done it. They could have used Sephiroth. What they could have done that would have been so much cooler is make him not interact with Cloud at all. But you see him, like, you can see him in the, like, far away in the background, or you see his back, like, walking away from you. Like, in the beginning, when we first see Sephiroth, when you're walking around where it's, like, fire everywhere.
Yeah.
When you're still in the city. It's after the first bombing mission. And he just walks away. You see him, like, walk away from you, and you see his back.
You mean more like hints?
Yeah, they're hinting at him.
Yeah.
That would have been so cool if they just did that.
I agree. I think that I actually didn't mind seeing Sephiroth, but every time he started interacting with Cloud, I was like, yeah, this is okay.
Yeah, that's literally the only thing that bothered me about.
In terms of how they adapted the original?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
It was done way better in the original, that part of it. And like, we were talking about pacing before, like, yeah, of course the original has better pacing. Like,
yeah,
they took the same story and they had to add more to it. Like, the pacing is gonna be like, there's literally, you can't really escape that.
No, they can't. Yeah, they cannot.
But also, like, I care much more about the characters because of the added stuff. I care more about Jess. Fucking Jessie is
I know,
a fucking sweetheart. I love her.
She's absolutely. She's
such a good character. Oh,
the way the characters themselves, I think, are like what kind of like kept me like. The combat and the characters are what kept me playing that game because they're just all they're all great, and the combat feels really good. The music is also great, and it looks fine. It looks good. So then, when it comes to, I mean, a lot of people have problems with pacing and then like the quests and shit. That's all kind of stuff that I was just kind of already used to more or less ignoring. Like when I play MMOs, I don't really think too hard about the quest system, right? Stuff like that. Like, it wasn't too big of a deal to me to just like mash A to accept quests or turn them in or whatever, right? Run around, just collect the things, and that maybe got boring, but like I'm just pretty used to that.
Yeah.
But overall, yeah, man, it seems kind of weird when Donkey made a video and he fucking cherry picked like things so hard, and it just kind of, I was like, okay, like,
yeah.
I don't know if you saw that video, but
I've not watched it. I never watch videos, like serious videos from Donkey. Like, I only watch his videos where he's fucking goofing.
Yeah, I actually, that's totally right. Like every time I watch, I don't know, he just I don't think he knows what the fuck he's talking about a lot of the time.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the, like, I've never like if I want to watch someone who knows what they're talking about, I watch like Mathematosis.
Do you remember? Yes. Do you remember that video you made? Dave made a video called God Hand versus like God of War. And it's for some reason one of the most popular videos in like third world countries or something.
Yeah.
Like people eat that shit up. And basically in the video, Dave just he's joking, but it's kind of, you know, it's kind of like hinting. He has comparison shots of God of War next to God Hand, and it shows how he puts on slow music of God Hand, like fucking Gruce's theme for God Hand or God of War being
for God of War, yeah.
And then for God Hand, you know, it's kick ass and it's showing the intensity and how fun it is. Donkey does that unironically. Like
okay, yeah.
He does that unironically. He compares like games with like, and then he cherry picks segments, and it's like, okay, this is actually why Final Fantasy VII is bad. And I'm like, you can't fucking mean, like, come on, it's not fair. But it's not. That's what he does. Like, you did it as a meme, but he actually does that as an argument. And I go, okay, this is fucking not even worth my time.
Yeah, it's not like, and like sometimes he's right about stuff. When it's not about RPGs, he says things that I could agree with. But overall, like, I don't watch him for that stuff. Like, that's not, I'm not interested to hear his actual opinions. Like,
it's basically funny to see him like fuck with people online or something, or just make fun of like companies and shit, like making fun of Microsoft, or like I said, playing Counter-Strike and fucking with people over the mics and stuff like that. That's when I like watching Donkey. But whenever he starts giving opinions on like single player games, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm sure a lot of it's fine, but it seems to be mostly with Japanese games. He just kind of
that's true.
He fucking hates them. I don't know.
Yeah, that's weird because we talked about many times how fucking unironically we feel like Japanese games are just objectively better than Western games.
Yeah,
most of the time.
I like saying it is like like I feel like
it's because you're thinking about like, oh fucking, that's such a weeb argument.
Yeah,
like,
I'm setting myself up to be labeled as the weeb. But first, if you look at my fucking wall of games, most of them are Japanese. Like most of them have been developed in Japan, and I don't know, just most Western games just because when we say Western games, like there are definitely Western games that are like going against kind of the grain for what is expected. When when we talk Western games, we're talking like a Shadow of the Tomb Raider or Call of Duty, like Last of Us.
Uncharted,
Red Dead,
God of War, Red Dead, yeah.
Like, I mean, even Spider-Man is kind of like fine, but there's a lot of like fucking Western games. Like, I actually, I'm gonna say this: if Spider-Man, if you took the same fucking, just take the swinging and keep that as it is, because it's fucking perfect. Spider-Man on PS4 is actually like the most fun, like, world traversing kind of feel I've ever felt in a game. Like,
it's a good mechanic.
Like, the mechanic is it's like 10 out of 10. The mechanic, they fucking nail. It's so good. Take that mechanic and then give the game to like, I don't know, like a Japanese developer,
like Platinum Games,
like Platinum Games.
I was thinking like give it to Platinum Games when you said it. Take that mechanic.
Yes,
and I was like,
just
Platinum
like give
Games?
it, just give it to Platinum Games, and they would just make it so much better, like so much better because.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it doesn't even mean that Japanese games are... There's so many shitty Japanese games, and there's so many tropes of bad anime shit. Like, I'll shit on that just as much, but I just know at the very least I would have more fun. Because, like, there's these segments in Spider-Man where, you know, it's just like, we have to have these. It was like the sneaking segments. Like, you have to sneak and stealth, like, crouch shit. And there's no consequences, and there's nothing, there's no gameplay. It sucks so hard.
Yeah. And funny that it's funny if we go back to Final Fantasy VII for a sec. There's actually like silly stuff in Final... Just from looking at Final Fantasy VII, look at fucking Cloud. He's a fucking scrawny ass fucking... He's a small guy with a huge fucking...
It looks ridiculous.
He has a huge fucking sword. And
I'm just too used to the character design, so it's hard to notice it now. But
yeah, it's a great character design. First of all, like I'm not making fun of it,
right.
But it's the develop. Like, there's no way the designers went like, "Oh, this makes sense." They were like, "Oh, this is." They obviously were like, "This is ridiculous," but it's like,
yeah, the sword is
cool.
the size of him.
Yeah, it's cool. Like, they there's no way someone designed him and thought we're like thinking it was made sense. Like they knew it's exaggerated.
Listen, this shit ain't Baki. This shit ain't Baki.
No. Yeah,
they didn't. They understood it was just kind of like whatever. It's cool design.
Yeah,
they're just having fun.
But if you look, that's the thing is that Japanese games they dare to go into like the silly territory.
Yes.
If it means that the game will be better, like God Hand, they get rid of fucking when you're indoors in God Hand and you move your camera, so that you're facing the wall. It doesn't clip into the wall like the camera like fucking zooms into Gene like stuttering. Yeah. No, it's the wall disappears.
Oh yeah,
so
that's
you can
right.
See what you're doing.
Like they don't care.
They don't care, and that's something Western games care about. They don't want to be seen as silly. They stay away from being seen as silly.
No, you're totally right.
Serious and cool games. Like,
I mean, I think the point for Western games is like immersion, and for Japanese games, it's like fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
They don't give a fuck about immersion. Like they don't give a shit. They're just like,
what's funny is when they do it, they still do it better.
Oh really?
Like Dark Souls or like
I mean, yeah, like it's because they focus on things like atmosphere and like Souls is like the perfect example. Like, yeah, I'm trying to think of like a better Western game than like Sekiro, and I can't.
Yeah, it's fucking hard.
I think what are my favorite games? I think they're all Team Fortress 2 is in my top 5. Okay, that's a Western game. Valve is like they're fucking good. Like let's.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
there's fucking just FPS in general. You can. Yeah, I can't even. I'm trying to think of a Japanese FPS game. Does it even exist? Like a good one. Like
I think they would just if they made one, they'd probably just go, okay, let's make this third person instead. Like
yeah.
I mean Resident Evil 7, that was first person.
True.
That was actually fucking great.
Yeah, there we go. That's a good one.
And Resident Evil 7 is fucking a better slow-paced shooter than... God damn, that game is good.
Yeah, it's good. It's I was going back. I'm going back to Final Fantasy VII, like because we're talking about
you fucking weeb. Enough about Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, no, I want to talk about. I still have things to talk about.
Talk about Cloud.
I want to talk about Cloud. No, but the combat in Final Fantasy VII, like, because it's like action focused, your mind just because you probably feel the same. Like your mind just goes to Dark Souls, and you're like dodging. I'm gonna dodge the attack.
Yes.
Like I'm gonna.
That's how I feel.
But yeah, and it doesn't really work in that game. I can see people being like turned off by that and not accepting that it's not Dark Souls.
Oh, I understand what you're saying. So,
Like, I think it's unreasonable to think that, but I think there's definitely people that would be like, I don't know.
there was
like
a
when they play
moment.
it.
There was a moment when I was playing Final Fantasy VII when I don't know when it was exactly, but I basically realized, oh right, I have to use items, and it wasn't
absolutely.
it wasn't like me going like, I gotta use one. It's like I reminded this is not Souls. You fucking have to take damage, and that's okay. Like, it's not a problem. But I totally know what you mean. I think there's a lot of people that would kind of... But, if I'm being honest, like, I think it'd be better if I didn't have to use items. I kind of... By the end of Final Fantasy VII, I had nothing but an inventory full of crap I didn't really care about.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I agree. The same was in the original too. Like, you had a lot of items that... No, you did use items. They were actually used...
In my time playing Final Fantasy VII, I used items way more than I did with this game. Because this game I was focused on skills and, trying to dodge and shit. But I think I think that the way that Final Fantasy VII is... Or the way that, like, the Final Fantasy games are going, like... They should just go further action, honestly.
Yeah. There's one thing I want to talk about when it comes to the combat. I think there's too much shit on screen. I honestly think there's too much numbers popping out, particle effects. Like, sometimes it's hard to, like... I gotta ask, like, were there times when you just use Ice Spell, it does a lot of damage, but I don't know how much, I just know it will deal more damage. Because you don't see the numbers.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't even see the numbers because it's blocking it. And it's satisfying. It's satisfying seeing, like, the numbers pop up.
I'm trying to think if I felt like... I mean, I just kind of generally did shit.
Yeah.
I didn't really think too hard about, like, the numbers and stuff.
Yeah, because I was thinking when I was playing, like, there were many times where I took damage and I didn't see it coming. Like, I didn't, like... I was like, oh, I took damage, I guess. Because there's so much shit going on screen.
It's definitely, like, kind of overwhelming, and I think that...
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, it goes for spectacle over, like, actual, like, for it being, like... Reacting and stuff. Yeah, and that's fine. Like, that's what they wanted to... And it looks fucking great. Like, it looks great. I love that. I love it for that.
I mean, at some points in the game, I think I literally just kind of went, I'm just gonna start hitting X in this fight, because it's kind of exhausting to, like, try to think of everything that's happening right now. I'm just gonna, like, keep hitting this guy.
Yeah.
Obviously, during bosses and stuff, you pay more attention, but,
yeah.
The game definitely, like, it throws a lot at you in terms of just... It assaults your fucking senses.
Yeah. That's the thing, is, like, I was gonna say, when I use magic in... like, if I want to try... Because I don't... Like, when like, halfway through the game, I got rid of the like, scanning materia. I don't know what it's called.
Identify, yeah.
Identify, yeah. And at that point, I was just throwing all, like, magic spells at the enemy to see what weakness they have. But there were so many times where I did it, and I was like, was that a weakness? I didn't get this. I didn't see it. Like, there were times where it was like that.
Yeah, you have to. If you hit the touchpad, it'll tell you if it was like if you got it.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I think it does. Yeah. Or wait, maybe not.
Oh, wow.
Is it like Persona? I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I never noticed it, but I also didn't figure out that Barret, you know, when Barret does that, you can press triangle to do, like, to charge up the meter.
Yeah.
You can do that when he's changing, changing magazine in his gun, or, like, the...
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Because when you keep shooting, like, just holding the button, like the attack button, he will stop shooting because it, like, runs out of ammo. And at that point, you can press triangle to also charge the meter while he's
okay.
Like, so you can min-max it, like,
min-max. Okay, interesting.
And it feels great. It feels
that's cool.
But I didn't try that until, like, at the end of the game, because someone told me that, you can do that, and I was like, what, really? And when I did, I was like, oh, that's so cool. That's such a cool, like, technique. Like,
I like that. Yeah, that's like high skill ceiling shit. Like, once you kind of get that stuff, like, in muscle memory. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and honestly, I wanted more stuff like that. But like it is an RPG. Like
yeah, on that note, I mean,
RPG,
it's interesting you said, because I was just gonna bring up how I actually think that casting magic was probably one of the least fun things to do in that game. Like, just when I cast like ice, it's like the third level.
Fuck fucking.
It just doesn't hit anything because it's casting where they were, or even like casting like fire was really satisfying to cast because it fucking like lobs it at them. It's really cool. But you still have to like sit there for like 4 seconds if it's the highest like tier. You just sit there, and it's like, and I'm just like, okay, shit can interrupt me, and I feel so fucking vulnerable. Like, I just didn't want to do it. And I'm sure that, it's part of the game's design, but something, I think the idea of what would have been wrong with casting while moving, I don't know, I just don't really see why I couldn't have done that or something.
I guess there has to be like a point for you to, like, if you could do that, it would be just like attack it normally.
True, but you got the ATB system already. It's not like you can keep doing it, right? Like, I feel like if I...
Yeah, that's true. That's right.
If I build up a fucking bar, then I have to cast. Like, why am I being punished for saving up my bars to do something that costs me this? Like, I'm already expending resources, and it's like, I'm spending both, because this is how I feel. I'm spending ATB meters and magic, a lot of magic, magic points, and it gets interrupted and I can't cast it because I'm sitting there for 4 seconds. Like,
yeah, that's fucking annoying. Yeah, I've had that many times where it's like, come on. Like,
and you just kind of like, whatever. That's the way the game works. But honestly, it's bullshit. I didn't like it.
Yeah, it is. But it's it's like you said, because abilities they go off almost instantly.
Yes, and they feel satisfying, and like you can combo shit and whatever. Yeah.
Oh, this is interesting. This is an interesting thing I want to talk about. This is completely like a different topic, but
all right.
I played through the game in Japanese.
I did not.
You played it in English, right?
I played it in English, yeah.
Yeah, and I have listened to the English one afterwards just to like get a just to understand.
Yeah,
and it's good. Like,
it was great. Like,
yeah, the English one is good. I was listening to it. Like, I like Barrett's voice. I don't like Tifa's voice at all. I can say that. Like, I don't like.
Yeah, she was kind of meh.
Yeah, especially like after hearing the Japanese, because she has a fucking perfect voice for her. Like, it was kind of hard to be like let that go.
I see.
But also fucking Barrett. Like, I like Barrett's voice in Japanese or in English. But every time he turns into Dad Barrett, he was still like, "Hey, sweetie." He was still like this like gruff guy. And have you heard his Japanese voice?
No.
It's so good because he's always like this. Nani?
Yeah.
Like when he's like, but when he's with Marlene, he's like, Marty. He's like,
really?
It's really sweet actually. He's like,
I want to hear that.
His voice changes, and it's actually like really, it's actually really sweet. Like you can tell like he's being like sweeter when she's around. Like,
oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like that.
I can send you a link to that, like a part that I like. The first time you go into when I think the first part you see Marlene, he's like, "Oh, you can stay up a little bit longer. It's okay." and in the Japanese, it's so good. Like,
oh, I want to,
Barrett in the Japanese one is fucking perfect. He's so good. And when he's angry and like the typical, drill sergeant as his, which fucking it shows so well in this. He's like this guy that preaches to you.
Oh,
like
yeah.
This. Like, the planet is dying. Like, he's
yeah.
When people said he was like a military man in the Japanese version, in the original, I totally get it now. Like, I get it.
Yep,
like, he's
for sure.
He's loud. He's like fucking.
There's this moment where fucking like they're walking at the beginning. Cloud, I love how the characters interact. Cloud's talking to Barrett, and he's like, how old are you? Or something. He like asks him his age, and then Cloud says like 1. He says like what rank soldier he was, and Barrett's like, I meant your age, And then Cloud's like, oh fuck.
Cloud, it's so good how they capture the awkwardness.
They
did it so well because you don't really notice it in the original. Like
no, this is what I meant. They fucking got these characters, and it could have been so bad. Like I think of all the games and shit they've been in, and it's kind of, you know what I mean? And they just somehow everybody felt like good. Everybody fit into their own kind of character, and it was great. I think that the English voice acting, when I said it was great, like I mean, for a dub of a Japanese game of an RPG, Final Fantasy, that's like over 40 hours, it's pretty fucking good. I mean, I felt like emotionally when I heard how they were at some points in the game, like it was hitting like the emotions. And that can be hard. That can be really hard to do for dubs and shit. Like, so I think they did great. I mean, I assume that the Japanese dub is better, of course, but
I mean, it's good. It's good to like. The only reason I go with like the Japanese is that I know it will. Usually, it will be good, like because Japanese voice actors are just like I have not heard a bad one, and some people think it's because of the language barrier, like you don't like you can't hear it, but no, I have heard bad ones, like I have heard it before, and you can tell when it's bad, like in Japanese it's they focus. There's so much focus on voice acting in general in Japan. So when people train, they go all out. Like they actually are like that's why there's so many of them. Like there's so many of them, and because they're needed. Like there's
absolutely. Fucking sorry, go on.
No, what are you gonna
say? Fucking Biggs is Badger from Breaking Bad in this game.
Yeah, you talked about that. I love that.
He's good. Like I'm I was actually really happy for him. I was like, is that Badger? What the fuck? And yeah, it was him.
That's so fucking.
Should I listen to this?
Yeah. Listen to that part step there.
Okay.
知らない人とは喋っちゃダメって。
偉いぞマリー。父ちゃんとの約束忘れなかったな。偉いぞ。じゃあお休みの時間も守らないとな。
Oh man, that's really cute.
Yeah, it is.
I get some Yakuza vibes.
Yeah. That's good. But yeah, you can. Yeah, you watched it and you're like, Barrett is so fucking sweet.
I love. He was my favorite character for sure.
Absolutely, he's my favorite in the original too. So it's like the fact that they nailed the characters, they didn't fuck the characters up.
That's what I was getting at. They didn't fuck. They fucking made it good. They made them good. It could have been a disaster, dude.
Yeah,
and they made it. It's really good.
So good. One thing they did in the translation, I noticed, is that they made Aerith a bit. They made her like she's cursing and shit. I don't think she was that in the like. They think they added that to her in the translation because she says shit a lot. Like,
does she? I'm trying to think. I don't remember.
Yeah, the first time she says like. When you meet her, she's like climbing a ladder and the ladder breaks.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, I'm not. You don't have to worry about me. I'm not some kind of princess."
Yeah.
Oh shit! She says, like right as she like the ladder breaks, like right at that moment, just to prove that she's like.
That sounds weird.
She's a bit tougher, and she was not that like that in the original, but I don't really mind it that they added like that because she is. It fits her. Like, it fits her to be like, to look like this innocent, like, pure girl, but she can be foul. If she needs to.
Yeah, she seems a little bit more like quirkier, kind of like that.
Yeah. It's, in the original you didn't really get that, except for when you went to Don Corneo's lair. Which talks about ripping his balls off. Like that's maybe that's like she did that in the original too. So it's like okay, maybe it does fit her character. Like there's some Oh, this one. Speaking of, fuck, they did fucking Don Corneo. I don't know if it's Corneo or Corneo.
Don Corneo.
Corneo, yeah.
That's what they said.
He's so good. I was so happy when he showed up.
He was so greasy.
Yeah, when he peeked around the corner, like
yeah, I loved him. I
so good. He's such a clown, and his animations are so fucking good.
Yep, they own it. They own it, dude.
Yeah.
This is the kind of thing where, like, when they remake things, this is when they would go serious, and they try to remake Don Corneo to be this like, I'm a serious kind of thing, and no, in this he's like, yeah.
Yeah, he's greasy. He's gross. And I like how they build him up. You never get to see him, but they talk about him like in all like what is it called? Market? What did they call it? Wall market. The wall market. They talk about him like Don Corneo. You get to talk. You get to.
Oh yeah, it's like building it up.
Fight. Like yeah, they're really building it up, and they have like a fucking what's it? A vending machine of him.
Yeah,
like, somewhere, and then when you finally see him, you're like, oh, so this is how he's like.
Yeah, like it's weird.
And it's like it's so good.
The people that kind of work directly below him are very serious characters, even if they have their quirks. They're like the one guy. There's just one. He's like, I'm Texas, man, Don Corneo, and there's like a girl, and she's very high maintenance kind of. And then you see him, and he's like like, how the fuck did he get to this position?
Yeah. Oh, and I like the added stuff with him too. The like, I think the guy, the fucking white-haired fucking twink guy that he's serving, he was kind of whatever.
I don't know why they kind of that to me felt like they were going, okay, we have literally everything in the original game has to be beefed up, including this guy. I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah, and he was I don't think he was in the original, but he was in a light novel or something like that.
Oh, really? I thought that I thought that I remember seeing him like at the gate.
Yeah. No, he might be just one of the guards standing in front of his like Don Corneo's mansion. But I like the scene when you show up as Cloud cross-dressing and he's just like, come on, like, like, are you really that desperate? Like, and it's not like he's like surprised. He's just like, all right, you're really going through with it. Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. I love that. I love his reaction to it. It's good.
Yeah, for sure.
God, so many good parts. They fucking nailed that part too. The whole like, was it honey? What's it called? Honeybee Inn. Is that what it's called?
Yes. Oh man, dude, no, that whole part. What are you talking about? That was cringy. That was cringy as fuck, dude.
That's cringy, dude. Yeah. I had to facepalm when I saw shake my head. I couldn't stand it.
Oh god, it's just so stupid.
It was embarrassing. Yeah.
Fucking DSP literally, like, oh, it's so dumb.
Yeah, imagine that's like what a 13-year-old would react.
Literally.
That's actually what because they would be embarrassed because they don't know what they like. How they would feel about it. That's the only reason.
He like titled the stream is like prepare for cringe and like,
oh my god, I didn't know that. Oh.
Like no, he had been setting it up for weeks, like how afraid of it he was. Like he was really afraid of it. Like,
oh my god,
it's gonna be so bad. Oh god, I can't wait. Or like, god, I don't want to see it. I'm gonna be face palming. It's gonna be so bad. It was stupid in the other game too. Like, fucking DSP.
I do like how they just.
I thought it was fucking hilarious.
Oh, it was great.
It's so awesome.
I love how they make it still like it's still a gag, but it's also like you look at it and it's like, fuck, they made it it's so well made. Like Cloud actually looks gorgeous.
Yeah,
like, it's great. And also the fucking guy, what is he called? The manager or whatever.
That guy, he was awesome. I don't remember his name.
His voice actor in the Japanese one is fucking Joseph Joestar.
What? Is it really? Oh my god.
Yeah, it is. It's young Joseph.
Ikuzo! Like that.
But he's more like, oh, Dando. He's like calm and like.
いいだ。腕によりをかけてお前を最高の花嫁にしてやろう。さあ、お待ちかねのショータイムだ。
Oh
more
my
fabulous.
god, I love Joseph like young. He's young. He's like Smokey like that.
Oh yeah, that voice actor, Sugita, I think his name is. He is top tier. He's
fucking awesome.
Such a fucking good voice actor.
Yep.
That's the thing too. Like, I know that this is completely subjective, but I know so many Japanese voice actors just by listening, just by hearing their voice. I'm like, oh, I know who that is, and that to me, like that, it's so exciting to me. It's this character.
Yeah, well,
like,
that seems to happen more often with like when I with anime games too. Is when I can literally go, that sounds familiar. Like, I don't ever feel like that. And I mean, unless it's like, someone like fucking Chris Sabat or, someone like that.
Yeah, the big ones.
Yeah, the big ones. But, no, like, fucking, I can tell. I'm like, oh, is that Cell? Like, you fucking...
Yeah. It's really cool. Like, and that's the reason why I also... That's like the main reason why I go with like Japanese voices. Really, it's because I know I'm gonna get a kick out of it. Like, like hearing the voice, like, oh, I know this one. Like, and it's to some people that stuff doesn't matter. Like, there's definitely people that are gonna be like, I don't really care about like relatability, like, or like being able to like identify,
right?
Like, some people wouldn't even care about that, and that's just so it's completely a subjective thing.
Yeah,
but it's still like, I love it. I love that shit.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but Final Fantasy VII Remake. Fuck, we talked about it for quite a while. Good game. Overall, good game. We had a lot of bad things to say about it too.
I mean, yeah, like I definitely have issues with it, and like, but
that's good.
Yeah, the overall, like, I just think that people need to fucking chill out. Like, it's a fun game. It's fun, and it's got some really great moments, and there's a couple issues with the game, but it doesn't mean it's not like, this doesn't live up to the standard of Final Fantasy VII. Like, fuck off, who cares?
That's when I hear things like with Oni, who was really
that was like toxic.
Yeah, but the thing is that I can tell he genuinely thinks that. Like, he genuinely feels that way.
No, for sure.
Because he said the soundtrack he was like, it's fucking fantastic. It's better than the original. He was like, he was so into the soundtrack, and that's when I could tell that, like, okay,
he's not just being a baby about it.
Yeah, he doesn't care. Like, he doesn't care about the new combat. He doesn't care about like how the characters look. Like there's things in it that he does. The improvements and the things they added, he didn't care about, and the stuff he cared about got dragged out. So for him, it was like, this is not. I don't like it.
I don't know.
I think he's definitely he's always like that. He's always hard on. Like,
he is
everything.
To me, it's kind of like, the reason I called it toxic is because I think you should fucking separate the two. Like, I don't think it's really necessary to, like, Resident Evil 2 and the Resident Evil 2 remake. I don't like look at them like they're separate things to me, and that's
they are absolutely. That's how I feel. Like, I can go back and play Final Fantasy VII, and it would be a different experience.
Yeah,
they're different enough to be like a different experience.
But people like Oni, to me, is like, it's like he fucking had it on the other monitor while he was playing. I don't know. It was.
Yeah.
I feel like
it does feel like he was like preparing.
Yes.
For it to be bad.
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean.
And I kind of had that in mind while I was playing. Is like, I could end up not enjoying it. Like, is what I was thinking. Like I have to accept that. Like,
right.
I don't want to be hyped for it. Like, I didn't want to. And I was glad, because I think if I was super hyped, I would probably be annoyed, a lot more annoyed with like the small things in it. Mm-hmm. But I like, it wouldn't. I don't think it would like. It wouldn't have impacted like how I think the game is. Okay. But it would have like on like a personal like just experience. It would have been different.
Yeah. I can say that now I actually want to play through the original game. Like, so
that's good, yeah.
So take that as you will. Like, as much as, people would say this isn't the most faithful because it pads shit out, or
Yeah.
I mean,
that's one of the things that we didn't bring up, how faithful it is. Like
Yeah.
you might not be able to.
No, I can't say a ton on this, but
No, it's so good. Like I would say like every single thing that is from the original, they nail it.
yeah,
Like the Shinra headquarters is it's so much better in the remake than it is in the original one. Was like,
you know what?
fucking boring.
I honestly I can say some shit because I did get out of Midgar.
Yeah.
Shinra was way more exciting to me. They're like, whoa, like look at this.
Yeah.
Just
walking around the main hall.
I felt
and
this...
the fucking the mayor.
Yeah.
The fucking mayor of Shinra.
Yeah.
Or Shinra.
Yeah.
Or no, the Midgar. Yeah, he was he was in the original, but all he said was like, you walk up to him and you say, you answer a quiz and you get an item. That's it. They fleshed him out in the remake. He's like this.
He feels like a real character.
Like,
yeah.
And they do that with a lot of like small characters in it, like Johnny, the fucking comic relief guy.
Oh yeah.
He's that. I don't know if he. Yeah, you do talk to Johnny in the original too, but he's like nowhere near as like they put a lot of effort into it. He's fucking annoying though.
What was with his fucking dad being around? What the hell was that about?
Yeah,
it was so strange. Like he just started giving like fatherly advice like every time he get to a new area. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and then he's at the Honeybee Inn.
Yeah.
Manor or whatever. Oh, the fucking! Did you just peek inside the like the keyhole in the Honeybee Manor?
I don't.
You can peek inside the keyhole and you see like Palmer, the guy from the fucking brown suit guy from Shinra. He's like this small fucking.
Oh, I didn't see this though.
He's in there chasing one of the bee girls with a net.
Oh,
he's just running around like, I'm gonna catch you.
That is so fucking Japanese. I love it.
Yeah, and he runs around in circles, and then he has to stop to like. He's exhausted, and he's disgusting. Palmer is fucking disgusting like he looks gross.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, because in the original, I just assume he's like this, just normal, like, middle-aged guy, short, a little bit. I thought of him like Danny DeVito, kind of like.
Yeah, okay.
But he's grosser than that. He has these like fucking. Let's see if I can just find Palmer render and see if I can just find what he looks.
He's like a greasy goblin.
Yeah, he is. Oh, he's disgusting. I found it. In the original, I never saw him like this. So the fact that they made him more disgusting, I'm happy with. Like,
yeah, he's like a
fucking look at it.
He's like a comical fucking Batman villain.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is absolutely.
Yeah, he looks really great.
There's a thing like in the original Final Fantasy VII, you get to fight him. Actually, if you might play it like at some point, so
yeah.
You might get to that part. But there's a fucking really funny part in 7 that I still think is like one of the best. Like, it's actually like funny, like intentionally funny. Like it's. But yeah, and I won't talk about that.
Yeah, I'll see it probably.
Yeah, but they added that little scene with Palmer in the Honeybee, and it's fun. You can probably look it up on YouTube. That's
I'll definitely. That's great. That shows like Final Fantasy VII was kind of silly at times, and I like that a lot.
Yeah, they added a lot of silliness. There's still some silly stuff in remake, and I'm happy they kept that. It's not super serious, and I love that.
No, but then people like DSP would go like, "Why are you stupid?" Yeah, have no fucking. They're not self-aware at all.
Yeah. Fuck. But yeah, I think we said it. We talked enough about 5 and 7. That was long.
Yeah. It was. I'm glad we got to talk about it though.
Gamers, did you hear the music?
Oh, it's Mario 2.
Yeah, it's ending.
I actually remember we had. That's cool. We had the Mario 2 ending theme. I forgot about that. That's the Greasy Gamers fucking. It's like the known thing we do.
Yeah. Yeah, good Mario 2 ending. Like, time for bed.
Time for bed. There was no password. Oh, fuck. Brent, fucking Brental Floss.
Ruin it. Fuck Brental Floss.
Put the lyrics on the screen. Brental Floss. Put them on
Brental
there.
Floss.
What does it say?
Barry, could you put it?
Barry, put that. Fucking. Oh, fuck Game